Hello, wrestling fans. I'm Brian B, and this is my co-host,
Big Daddy J.
Big Daddy J, and this is Video Wrestling News. Now, this is our fourth installment of our weekly news roundup. So, this week we're going to discuss a few things, some interesting things that took place in wrestling news this week. One was, of course, Money in the Bank, which was a great pay-per-view.
I think the best
What
one all year.
else are we going to talk about?
I think it's the best pay-per-view all year long so far.
I agree. It was pretty good, really good. Every match was solid. Then, of course, we're going to move on and talk about Raw as well, and hopefully get into the discussion about main event. And then wrestling news. So, Big Daddy J, let's get started.
I'm ready, buddy.
All right, so Money in the Bank. First, we got to talk about the kickoff that took place with Daniel Bryan coming out.
Believe. It's interesting to see him back. I mean, with what happened later tonight, I see him coming back and maybe possibly having a feud with him. I'm not sure yet.
Well, yeah, I'd like to see that. See how relevant Bo Dallas is by the time he comes back, or by the time Daniel Bryan comes back. Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be nice to see them in a feud. Bo Dallas is much more talented than what we've seen in the ring. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more out of him in the coming months. But it'd be nice to see those two together in a match, I think. Yeah, it was.
Actually called Bo Dallas a boner during his promo.
Oh, yes. Yes. He called him a boner.
Yeah. That's real PG, my friends.
Yeah. I can see WWE's moving slowly away from the PG thing now. And they're going back to the PG-13 and stuff. Which is normal. It's a normal cycle that they do anyway. So, cradle to grave kind of stuff. So yeah, we had in that segment Daniel Bryan, Bo Dallas came out. Daniel Bryan called him a boner. And then he told him, Bo.
It wasn't really much of a promo, see, Daniel Bryan. I mean, it's just something said about Bo Dallas. I mean, it was nothing interesting, really.
Well, the only news that came out of it was that he mentioned that there's going to be a second surgery and he's going to be out longer than anticipated. So I guess that was the main takeaway. And I guess they wanted Bo Dallas to be the one to look crazy. And he did. He looked pretty dumb. He had no idea what to do once Daniel Bryan told him to leave. So.
I was interested because his face was like, what must I say now? I'm like confused, you know.
Oh, that was good.
The first match of the night. Great match. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I agree. First match of the night, Tag Team Championships on the line.
It was. I mean, it played out what it's supposed to do. I can't wait. I hope to see the feud continue between the Wyatt family and the Usos.
Me too. I like their matches. I like what they've been doing a lot lately. Actually, I love what they've been doing. Hopefully, the rest of the tag team division becomes kind of like that. And we have a real division. But I like the fact that they're going for the gold back and forth. And I do see in the Wyatt family future that Luke Harper, Eric Rowan will probably be tag team champions soon.
And I think now their feud with Sheamus, we'll see Bray have his title with, I guess, U.S. title.
Or he might be shooting with a returning superstar.
Oh, not going to talk about that one just yet. We'll wait later.
But I agree. I'd like to see Bray Wyatt get his shot. It's about time he had some gold around his waist, I think. Sheamus is probably the right guy to do it. But then again, I kind of am enjoying Sheamus' U.S. title run. He hasn't defended it yet as of this. As far as I remember, yeah, he hasn't defended it yet. I think he will on SmackDown this week, but I'm not sure. It'd be nice to see them. But of course, Bray Wyatt has turned out to be one of those hard-hitting, hardcore wrestlers as well, just like Sheamus, just like Bad News Barrett. When you go in there, you know it's going to be a slobber knocker. You know those guys are going to hit really hard and really turn it out. So I enjoyed what they did at Money in the Bank. Great tag team match between the Usos and Luke Harper, Eric Rowan. Great tag team. I hope eventually, though, they get it straight with the music. Theme music.
I agree.
Okay, so Usos won that match, went over in that one, in a very great classic match, probably one of the best tag team matches we've seen in quite some time, which is hard to say because the Usos have actually been delivering probably the past 2 years as far as their matches are concerned, especially the past year. Their matches have been really great.
I'll agree with you. I remember when we first started talking about the Usos, and I was really down on them. I mean, I just didn't. I wasn't behind them because they weren't big. You know, they're small guys. Now I've watched them work and work and work, and I'm loving them.
I agree. Yeah, I remember in the initial phases there, I think we both had our reservations. Didn't necessarily like them too much. I didn't like them because I just couldn't relate to them. I didn't really understand the gimmick. I didn't know if they were trying to be Samoan, or if they were trying to be like hip hop, or if they were trying to be something different. I don't know. It looks like that's just them. I enjoy their personality now.
Mm-hmm.
They do remind me of their dad a lot when they wrestle. They are Samoans. It's in their blood to be good wrestlers.
For them, they remind me of their dad. They didn't go to a buffet and start eating a lot.
I meant as in like his in-ring skills.
Okay.
I agree with you. And remember when we saw him at Raw 1000? Was it?
No, I don't remember.
Old school Raw this year. Yeah, when he returned with Too Cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was a lot bigger and slower than he used to be. He still does independent shows regularly too.
Wow, he must be eating a lot. I mean, I used to like Rikishi back in the day.
Yeah, he's really good. I hated to see his push get ended so quickly. Remember when he left? I think he was a top heel in the company. He had that feud with Rock and Stone Cold. He turned out to be the guy that ran over Stone Cold back in the day.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah. I remember those heel days. They didn't last long. You know, he ended up leaving the company soon after that. But it was cool to see a different side of him. We got used to seeing him as 5'2", you know, the street guy from the 90s. And then he was the Sultan for WWF back in the day as well with the mask. Um, I believe he did a later rendition of the Head Shrinkers. And then when he came back to WWF in, I believe, 99 or 98, it was as Rikishi. And he had the whole new gimmick, the blonde hair, the interesting skirt slash ring gear. And he had a real big push coming out the gate. And then I remember he turned heel because it turned out he was the guy that ran over Stone Cold back in the day.
Yep. I also had the stink bomb put his ass in people's face, man.
Yes.
Step my ass, tell me it smells good, you know.
Unfortunately, that was, yeah.
I would have took one.
There was a lot of people who took one too, didn't? It was who was it that put that toilet paper in between his cheeks at one time?
I don't remember that.
I can't go back. He was going to face somebody, and they were sitting in the corner, and as they did it, they put their like a towel or something in front of their face, and then when he got up, it looked like toilet paper in between his butt cheeks. It was like a SmackDown or a Raw. Who was that? I gotta look back on time, I guess. Anyway, I guess enough about the wonderful Samoan dynasty we have in wrestling. The second match that took place at Money in the Bank was Paige and Naomi.
It was an interesting match.
Interesting match. Divas title.
I get behind a page now. And Cameron, now we've seen that Cameron was kind of jealous of Naomi, which now we got the Fandango split and all that. So I can't wait to see the feud that's going to come out of that. Because now I'm kind of interested in the Total Divas to see how they play it out on there.
Exactly. And supposedly they are filming season 3 as we speak. I guess they started filming like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I guess this is going to play out over Total Divas as well. So yeah, I'd like to see how they do it. That'd be kind of cool. This is kind of unique to see like a heel turn, but like seeing it from a behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of different, I guess. So yeah.
We saw Paige win that one, of course.
But I guess what was important was what happened after the match. When Naomi and Cameron got in each other's faces and started pushing each other. And Cameron walked away. I think that told the story. And even the announcer said that it looks like this is over. And that's it. And this is for bye-bye. However, as we'll talk about in a little bit, didn't they team together on main event? So I'm kind of confused.
Wow.
There's more that we got to talk about with the Divas title a little bit later on too. So I don't want to take up too much time on that. See,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, that's going to be good. It's going to be good. We had Mr. Rosebud himself, Mr. Adam Rose, take on Damian Sandow in an okay match, I guess. Who was Damian dressed as this week?
I don't remember who was dressed on the review, but I remember who was dressed on Money at Raw.
Right. Let me see here. No, he didn't wrestle as Damian Sandow on the pay-per-view, I don't think. Let me take a look here. No, I don't have it with me.
It wasn't that important, anyways. I mean, of course, Adam Rose won the match.
Yeah, Adam Rose won the match. He looked great coming out of it, which was the point. Keeping his gimmick going, which I'm still a pretty good fan of. I'm getting impatient because I like seeing feuds.
Yeah.
Same thing with Rusev. I'm not getting impatient with him because he's involved in feuds. So we'll talk about him a little bit too. But yeah, so Adam Rose got the win on that one. Not much to come out of that. Damian Sandow's kind of going through the run where he's just a silly character. We know he'll probably get a more serious role down the line. He looks like a lifer.
Yeah.
But on the more important matches, such as the first Money in the Bank match for the number one contendership, who all did we have in this match?
We had Kofi Kingston, Rob Van Dam, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Ziggly Wiggly.
This is Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger.
Oh, yes, the real American, Jack Swagger. Awesome match. They never really cease to amaze when it comes to the Money in the Bank matches, especially when you have people like RVD, Kofi, Dolph, Seth Rollins in there, so you know there's going to be some crazy bumps and some crazy falls, and man, wow. Ooh. Great match. Great match. Just phenomenal ladder match. That's all I can really say.
It's probably one of the best matches of the night.
I agree.
It's better than the main event. I agree about that.
Yeah. There was nothing that was really going to top that ladder match, to be honest. I think they realized that in the main event. We'll talk about that too, I guess.
We saw Seth Rollins get hurt, and they sent him to the back.
Yeah, yeah, Dean Ambrose. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
And then, of course, they tweet on Twitter. They talking about it. They said he'll be right back. So predictable these days.
Unfortunately, but it was something interesting you said though when we had talked about it in private. Um, how this is sort of a rib on Bad News Barrett
Yeah.
and him being so injury prone. This is the good old boys in the back. This is their way of telling Bad News Barrett to stop getting so many injuries, which is not really his fault. But anyway, uh, so I'm glad you pointed that out. Yeah, so Dean Ambrose ended up having to leave for his shoulder injury. Then, of course, he came back later in the match. Um, I'm trying to remember some really awesome spots. There were so many, especially anything Trophy does. Uh,
The best way to describe it, if you missed the pay per view, go back and watch it again.
yeah, yeah, go back. All those guys had a got in some really good moves and some really good spots. But of course, who came out on top?
Seth Rollins.
It's by Mr. Plan B himself.
And he had help from Kane.
Yes, yes. The Authority was in full force, Money in the Bank the whole night. Uh, Kane came out and, let's say, gave the advantage to Seth Rollins by interfering on behalf of him and helping clear the way and getting him all up the ladder.
I loved it. I'm happy, happy, happy. And that was one of my predictions. I said Seth Rollins is going to win, and he won.
You won. Yep, you called it. And you even called the Money in the Bank for the championship as well. We'll talk about that too. So hats off to all those guys. Hats off to Seth Rollins for his win. That's a huge win. Um, I'm jealous. I wish I was in that position in the company. And I hope it works out for him. I hope everything he stays healthy and he gets to this plays out well for him. And
You know what's so funny about it is, I called that pay per view. I called it 100% all the matches,
oh yeah,
everything. I called it from the get go.
oh yeah. It's all predictable nowadays, unfortunately, but that's wrestling for you, I guess. There's nothing anybody hasn't really seen unless you knew. Yeah, you called it. You got the matches right. If I were you, I would have bet some money.
That's what I said the other night. I said I wish I was betting on pay per view. I want at least them throw me off at least one time.
Mhm. I'm too scared. I don't know. I'm too careful with my money, I guess. Or maybe it's because I don't have money. But anyway, so big win for Seth Rollins. He is now officially Mr. Money in the Bank. Uh, and that brings the Money in the Bank briefcase to the Authority as well. So, um, yeah. Next up after that, we had Rybaxel taking on the newly formed and reformed tag team of Goldust and Stardust. I love this team. I love Stardust. He's creepy. He's crazy. The match was okay, but I mean, it did its job. You know,
It took up time.
right? It took up time, and it looked good for Goldust and Stardust to kind of keep building their whole feud.
I'm sick of seeing it though. I'm sick of seeing them against Rob Axel.
Yeah, I wish they had some different opponents.
The tag team division sucks in WWE right now, and I mean, I wish we see something different.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. And they have some. Well, no, they let go of a lot of guys that were a good part of that tag team division, like Kurt Hawkins, and when Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder was around during some of the good tag team days. Kurt Hawkins is gone. Zack Ryder's still employed. I haven't seen him in a little bit. Um, Prime Time's gone. You don't really have that many tag teams anymore, huh?
Not really.
Wow. guess so.
And you know, Triple H he was getting behind the tag team division, and now
Yeah.
it's just like you don't care no more.
Well, hopefully things change because the Ascension down in NXT looks like a really great tag team. They have a great gimmick. So I hope they keep that going onto the main roster like Bray Wyatt did. But then again, they might think it's too close to Bray Wyatt's. I don't know, but I like the Ascension's gimmick. They have like a gothy, twisted kind of gimmick. So maybe we'll see them on the main roster soon. Some of those NXT guys could come up and kind of fill that void for the tag teams we need. Because honestly, I don't need to see R-Truth and Kofi, RVD and Ziggler. I don't need to see any of those guys in tag teams. I need to see them all singles competitors, and I think we should bring up some of the new guys and put them on tag teams and do that debut that way. That's just me. So, Goldust Stardust get the win pretty easily here, pretty quickly. Like you said, just a time filler. So moving on. Next match, of course, playing out the whole patriotic thing is one of my top 5, of course, Rusev. Rusev Crush. Taking on Big E. Again.
That's my second favorite match of the night.
It was a spectacular match. I love the fact that not only did we get to see some really great spots and some good bumps from these guys, we saw a little bit of a story because Rusev sold. Now that was cool. So it was kind of cool to see him like vulnerable, you know. And then
They actually gave him time to work.
yes, and they had plenty of time to do their match. It turned out to be really good. I'm impressed by Rusev so far. I'm still digging the gimmick. I love the whole political Russia thing they're doing, and I just hope they keep doing it while it's relevant. Spectacular match. Big E lost, of course. Once Rusev put him in the accolade. I know that though it did look like Big E was about to get out of it though.
It did.
But in the end, he tapped out. So Rusev won in the end. Although he may have won the battle, but he may not have won the war. So we're not sure if it's over yet, or if Rusev is moving on to a new competitor. So, but I love this gimmick. And Lana, I loved it. We got it all that whole match. You know. She even gave him the look. Rusev, crush!
Wow.
It's so funny. Oh, it feels great. I love it. Just rub it in our faces. So classic heel.
Like I said, my second favorite match of the night.
It was a great match. It was a great match. Rusev can go. Rusev can go. Now, I'm looking forward to see who he might be moving on. I suppose the dirt sheets are saying Big Show, but no one's really sure, I guess. Maybe we have more to talk about that in a little bit.
We'll talk about that when we're doing Raw.
Right, for Raw. Next match, we saw a one-on-one singles Divas match with a special guest referee, Fandango. We had this whole love triangle that we've been seeing lately between Fandango, Summer Rae, and Layla play out in the singles match. Very quick, only like 3 minutes. You know, Layla won, but I guess the most important part was what happened after the match. What the heck? What was wrong with Summer Rae?
I don't remember what you're talking about.
She started crying.
Oh, yeah. She's heartbroken.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, she's heartbroken, man. She lost the love of her life.
I guess so. If it was me, I'd have moved on. But then again, never mind. I'll say something bad. Well, I will say this. It's good to see these ladies get TV time. And I'm pretty sure we'll see a little bit of this on Total Divas. Summer Rae, I believe she's a part of Total Divas, right?
We could actually have that match for main event. We didn't need it for a pay-per-view.
Well, maybe it was. Well, yeah, you're right. It was another time filler, though. But it did its job. It got Layla over and made her look stronger, and then move on to Monday Night Raw. And we'll talk about that in a second, too. Yeah. So, last match of the night, we had a Money in the Bank ladder match for the vacant WWE World Heavyweight Championship. We had Big Red Machine Kane. We had Randy Orton. We had Alberto Del Rio. We had Mr. Mr. Rogue, Sheamus. We had Mr.
Who was that? What? The King of Swing, Cesaro.
Cesaro. And Bray Wyatt.
Did you say Roman Reigns?
No. Oh, I mentioned. Yeah, I just read down the list. I got a list here.
And John Cena.
And then John Cena.
You can't see me.
I didn't say his name, but you said it. So.
You can't see me.
Well, first I gotta say, it was an okay ladder match. It was okay. We did get to see some cool spots like Roman Reigns when he lifted up both of the ladders with the guys on it. That was pretty awesome. John Cena did the same thing. We saw a wicked RKO in that match.
Oh, we saw Randy Orton get up and up the wrong hard way.
Ooh, yes, that was brutal. He got oh man, he had like a vagina right here. Gross.
We'll say thank you, Randy Orton, for breaking blood back in the WWE.
Unfortunately, but brutal match. It was decent for what it was, and of course, before we say who won, let me just say this. We already everybody pretty much knew. So let me just do this. If you want to know who won, listen to this. Who else? Who else? Come on. Who else was going to win that match? Big Daddy J.
I'm death right now.
15-time world champion. Unprecedented.
How many?
15 times.
Say that again.
15-time world heavyweight champion.
15 in like 10 years.
In this many years. Remember, he won the WWE Championship in 2005.
Oh, 9 years.
Crazy, right?
Ric Flair, 16-time world champion, greatest wrestler ever alive. 16 times.
And it took him over 25 years to do so.
Mm-hmm.
This goes to show, I think, something that you pointed out a few weeks ago, is that the belt means nothing. And that the superstar is now more important than the championship, unfortunately.
But they needed John Cena to hold that title, so I understand why he won it.
Yeah, we get it. Would the situation be the same if Daniel Bryan was still around? Probably not. But this is the cards that have been dealt, and of course management feels that Cena's the best to do it. So all I can do is congratulations to you, Mr. Cena. I can't say you didn't earn it. I mean, you did, I guess. Yeah. So I look forward to Battleground. We'll talk about that a little bit more, too, because they're going to have some things on Raw for that. But overall, Money in the Bank, I think, was a great pay-per-view. And like you said, it was one of the best of the year so far.
It was a solid pay-per-view. I mean, if you missed it, I would suggest going back on the network and watch it again. or even go on YouTube, find some clips of it. I mean, I'm glad I didn't miss it.
Yeah, same here. I'm glad we kind of watched that together over a long distance. Man. A great pay-per-view. All right, so moving on. Monday Night Raw was great. And I
And
was really surprised because I didn't think Raw would be that good.
we're live in Hartford, Connecticut.
Now, I do want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
We learned that Hartford, Connecticut, is the home of Stephanie McMahon, or the hometown, as she announced. But I also want to mention the fact that in Hartford, Connecticut, something really awesome happened before Raw.
Yeah.
Emma got arrested for shoplifting at Walmart. Yeah, you heard me. That Emma. Emma, you know, emulation. Yeah.
Over $20 item.
Oh my gosh. Now they're saying that it might be a mistake, and I know sometimes I've done that before. You know, I forgot that I didn't pay for something or I didn't scan it or something like that. That's why I like going through the actual with the cashier because they don't ever mess up. If I do it
But
myself, sometimes I mess up.
hold on, what's so bad is when we got like anytime you walk out with something like that, and you don't scan it or something, and you walk out, you don't get the cops calling you. They actually come back in and pay for the item or return it.
Right? No, yeah, exactly. So maybe she did. Yikes.
I think they seen that she was Emma and TV, so they got cops involved, so they can talk about their company, Walmart.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. Actually.
But I mean, she probably had money, plenty of money on her to pay for the item.
Yeah, I guarantee this girl is making at least five figures, and I mean, like high five figures. Like she's probably making around 75 grand right now.
Yeah.
So,
So I
unless
mean,
you're
I don't know.
donating a minute to charity or something. But
Well, I know she's not working for free,
right,
so I know she's got money. But why they not treat her like a normal customer and ask her to just pay for the item?
right. Yeah, something definitely had to happen for them to get the police involved. Uh, Either like you said, it was like a publicity stunt, or what if maybe she did go nuts? What if she was one of those people that was like, "Do you know who I am?"
And you know, I've been asked about where she's been at because I ain't seen her in a while.
Yeah, she's just been on NXT again. She dropped the main roster for some reason. So. Her and Santino. Santino's doing some uh, non-wrestling stuff lately. A lot of YouTube and a lot of network-oriented stuff. He even talked about his career winding down, which I found interesting. Like, he started wrestling like 10 years ago. Not even. But anyway, good for him. Good for that. Sucks to be Emma. As of this writing, there's conflicting reports of whether or not she's released and she stayed released. Some reports says that they rehired her, and some reports saying that that's gone and she's still gone. So I don't know. I guess in a couple of days we'll know for sure if she's still an employee. Um, she was a damn good wrestler, so I wish that she could stick around at least for that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn good women's wrestler. But anyway, moving on from that nonsense. Like you said, we were in Hartford, Connecticut. The show began with the Authority in the ring. It was very interesting. I actually liked the segment that they had. So they began, Stephanie and Triple H, of course, come to the ring. They began by really just buttering up the winner of Money in the Bank for the World Championship, John Cena. So, of course, they announce him out. And they keep buttering him up and complimenting him. And, of course, you can see it on Cena's face, right? He's like, what's going on here? Then what do they announce? Not everybody in the crowd, mind you, was that happy to hear this. John Cena is now on the cover of the new WWE 20K15 video game. Wow. By himself, mind you.
And see, I saw a different cover. It has Cesaro, I think Bray Wyatt, and John Cena on the cover.
Ah, so maybe there's several. Well, usually they do release several covers and several versions. So maybe that's a regular version, and John Cena has his own version or something. Who knows? But perhaps this was just a part of the storyline as well. But of course, what does Cena do? He says he's really skeptical. He doesn't understand what's going on here. And so what do they tell him? They say, well, you can do things the easy way, or you can do things the hard way. So, of course, Cena, not backing down and being the fighting champion that he is, and let me just do this again. The fighting champion that he is, says he'll do things the hard way. So what does the Authority announce? Immediately, on the spot, the main event for Battleground. The WWE World Champion, John Cena, will defend in a fatal four-way match. Wow. Big news.
Against Kane, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns.
Yes. Huge news. Huge news. Right out the gate. Battleground main event announced. And this, of course, is supposed to be a punishment to John. But, of course, he's, like I said, he's a fighting champion. You can't take him down. So.
That's super Cena to you.
Super Cena.
They also announced the main event for that night was going to be John Cena and Roman Reigns in a tag match against Randy Orton and Roman Reigns, or Kane.
Yes. Correct. It turned out to be an okay match, too, but I know we'll talk about that in a little bit. What else happened on Raw?
Well, we saw a six-man tag match for later or not between Sheamus, the Usos, and the Wyatt family.
Another great match. Another awesome freaking ending. I gotta tell you, Luke Harper and the way he does that discus lariat, that spinning clothesline, awesome. Even though it kind of hit the Uso a little weird. He tucked his head into his armpit, so it looked a little strange, but still came off really well. Great match. Great match.
Did you go back and watch what I said about Jimmy Uso?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Go ahead and mention it now.
Jimmy Uso was outside the ring, sitting next to the turnbuckle, and he wouldn't pop back up, and his brother went down there to stand behind him. So he was underneath the ring, but I don't know what he was doing. And I was trying to figure out if anybody else noticed that, because I did.
No, I didn't even notice. I didn't go back and watch it either. I wanted to, but I didn't even. It just hit me.
I think what happened was, give me 1 second. Bray Wyatt hit the Jimmy Uso in the turnbuckle. And I'm wondering if it kind of made him get sick or something. He went out of the ring because you know when you go to the ring like that, you're either going to puke or use the bathroom.
Right, right.
So I was wondering if it made him sick, you know.
Could be. They ate too much before the match or something.
They didn't tag Jimmy in the rest of the match, and he came in for one more flying over the top rope, and that was the last time we saw him.
And that's all we needed because in the end, it was the Wyatt family that won. Wow. Great match. Awesome stuff. Maybe we'll see some stuff between him and Sheamus down the road or someone else, as we'll talk about in a little bit. But like we said, go ahead.
The first match of the night was Seth Rollins against Rob Van Dam.
Right. That's exactly where I was going to go.
Oh, my God. Delivered on that one again.
Again. And we got to see some interesting new stuff from Rob Van Dam as well throughout the match. Rob Van Dam, worked the match. I was like, whoa, I haven't seen it work like this in a long time. This is a great match. Great match. Those two have great chemistry. Great. That should have been on a pay-per-view. To be
Oh
honest,
yeah,
that was a great match. They went at it. Wow.
we
Seth
saw
Rollins, go ahead.
we saw Seth Rollins pick up the victory clean. He didn't have no interference, nothing.
Right, right. Got the win with that move, the curb stomp. I still have like I don't know. I still feel weird about that move, but good move though. Good match. Uh,
But what came afterwards was even better. We saw a promo from Dean Ambrose.
what did Ambrose say?
He was talking about the Money in the Bank that he was Seth Rollins was going to cash it in. That he was always going to be there to interfere.
That was great. I loved it too. It was, every time you go out there, I'm gonna be right there to stop you. I love this whole thing that Dean Ambrose has got going on. So I know after that we had Rusev come out and brag about Russia. And what was interesting is what took place right after that. Who came out and approached Rusev on Raw?
It was Zeb Color and Jack Swagger, the real American.
Dun, 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 dun. So we got it. We have a face turn for Jack Swagger near the 4th of July, which is really
I,
cool.
I said something about this a couple weeks ago. I mean, their sheet says it's going to be John Cena, but I think if anybody can beat him, it'd be Jack Swagger.
Right. True. But I
But
don't see it doing that
I'm
way.
going to say something here. I'm not trying to be mean or knock Jack Swagger, but we could see Rusev hurt eventually pretty soon.
Could be. Yeah, that's
Jack,
kind of Swagger's
Jack
thing.
Swagger's bad for hurt people.
Right. He just, if he touches you, you're kind of cursed. Yeah, unfortunately. Rusev looks like a tough guy, though. Um, I'm sure. I'm surprised he's not hurt already, to be honest, as big as he is, and the bumps that he's been taking lately as well. But it was really awesome to see Uncle Zeb and Jack Swagger come out and do a face turn, and so now they're baby faces, they're good guys, and now they'll be squaring off against Rusev, I guess, in the near future sometime. Good stuff. Good stuff. Any more thoughts on the whole Rusev and Jack Swagger thing? That's going to be good. That's going to be good. They probably should have went with him first instead of Big E. But
Uh, I don't think so. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to this. I mean, Big E was good, but now if he can beat Rusev, it's going to give Jack Swagger that push that he needs.
no one's going to beat Rusev.
I'm
He might come close. He might even be lucky enough to get a disqualification win, but he won't put his shoulders to the mat and he won't tap out. Nobody's going to tap him out. Nobody's going to pin him either. At least while he's getting the push he's getting. And as we know how the WWE is, that could change next week. So, could be. That'd be
I,
nice. That'd be the push that Jack Swagger needs to get back in the good graces.
yeah, but Rusev put him over, and then Jack Swagger going to put him over.
Well, that's just a regular feud.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I just don't want to see John Cena do it.
Me neither, but it's probably going to happen that way. They're obviously saving Russo for something special for Cena down the line. It looks like maybe they know that. I don't know, but could be wrong. He could just lose next week. I don't know. You know how management is there. They're wishy-washy. One week they like a guy, the next week they don't. I just hope they keep liking him. I like the gimmick, to be honest. I love it. I love his work because he's doing pretty good in the ring. for a big dude. He's really agile.
I like Russo.
Yeah, and of course
But
he's got.
I still don't see John Cena. I'm against that whole thing about John Cena.
Yeah, I think a lot of us is. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about it, to be honest.
But I guess Hulk Hogan's with it. That's what he's pushing for, you know.
Yeah. Oh, he knows the writing. He sees the writing on the wall.
But now I think he posted something about Jack Swagger. So it might be Jack Swagger, man. You never know.
True, true. But it probably won't be Jack Swagger. Well, I don't.
I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right.
I do too, because that'd be nice for Jack. We haven't seen anything good for him since he got in trouble last year.
Well, he got in trouble for smoking weed, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got trouble smoking weed, and then injured Dolph Ziggler. That put him even further in the doghouse. Uh, didn't he injure somebody else? Sin Cara, right?
No, it's Alberto Del Rio.
Who did he injure Rey Mysterio?
No, it's just Rey Mysterio being Rey Mysterio and get hurt.
Well, we know. Well, I guess we can talk about it now. He injured Bad News Barrett.
Yep.
No, he's out. He's gone. He's done for a while. He had shoulder surgery this week. So Bad News Barrett's out. That means he's been stripped of the Intercontinental Championship.
But now it's been announced at Battleground, we're going to have a battle royal for the Intercontinental Championship. And, Damon Sandow came out on Raw.
Which was great.
It was funny. He was dressed. All you heard was the, you got no chance in hell. And I'm like, yes, we got Vince McMahon. He's actually come back.
That'd have been, oh man.
And then here comes Damon Sandow. What? What?
He did a good job too, doing the whole, he did the walk, the strut, you know.
Yes, he did.
And when he got on the mic, you know, he said, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw."
Damon Sandow is our new Charlie Haas.
I know, he's the laughing stock. He's the new Charlie Haas, the new Santino, the new everything. I think this is, personally to me, I think this is like the management team trying to test him a little bit and see how long he can take it. Kind of like they did Dolph Ziggler for a lot of years. I think he's got what it takes. I think he's a lifer. I think he's around for a long time.
Then we saw Stephen Manning.
You saw who?
Stephen Manning came on Titantron and say something to Damien Sandow about him impersonating her father.
That's right. Yeah, she was pretty pissed off.
Yeah, what happened next was his match with the Great Khali.
Yes. So we had one of several great returns on Monday Night Raw. And what did we hear? Literally all of 3 seconds, he just chopped him on the head and pinned him.
That's a quick match.
Very quick match. Made quick work of Sandow. But it was Sandow who announced he'd be the first person in the Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal. And of course, now we know that Great Khali is in the Battle Royal as well at Battleground. So that's pretty cool. I don't think Great Khali has ever been an Intercontinental Champion. I don't think. He's been a World Champion. I believe a Tag Team Champion. I'm not sure. You know what? I wouldn't mind a Great Khali Intercontinental Championship reign for a little bit.
No.
And a good.
No. No.
You mean you don't want to hear?
No. I think you've been. I think you've been my liquor tonight, Brian.
Oh man. Yeah, that was great though. Announced that and. Uh-oh, what was that? You say something?
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, I thought you said it was Sa. Yeah, made quick work of that guy. Moving on. So we had what was the second return of the night. And, well, really kind of like, yeah, it was. We'll say it was a second return. We had the WWE posted, I believe, on one of their sites or somewhere that they were going to have a former world champion return on Raw, and they said this person would be a cross-brand, cross-media platform special, blah, 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 blah. It was supposed to be special. So, of course, when it was time, throughout the night, they're leading us up, and they have, you know, the whole limo pulling up. They don't show us who's in it, of course, they make us wait. And then, of course, when the time comes, whose music plays?
Who's that?
The Miz. So the Miz came back on Monday Night Raw after a few months off. I think he's been filming movies and doing all kinds of promotional work. So he's a superstar, you know, doing his thing. He was the advertised former world champion. So, of course, what does he do when he comes back? He comes out, claims that he's the guy. However, what he didn't count on was somebody else returning.
Who was that?
The real former world champion that was supposed to come that night was somebody else that showed up during his promo. Who was that, by the way? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. Can you remember? I don't remember. What's that sound? Big Daddy J, what's happening? What's going on?
I have no idea.
So, of course, Y2J is back. Chris Jericho's back. I gotta say, I'm happy Y2J's back. For however long he's back.
I like what came next. We saw the White filming come out on Y2J. And, I mean, it's going to be interesting because if they have a feud with Y2J, we can guarantee that Y2J is going to put over Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
And, I mean, it's not going to be something like we have with John Cena. Chris Jericho is all about putting the younger talent over. So, I mean, I can't wait for that.
I agree. Looks like we're going to have a nice little feud with him and Bray Wyatt, which will be really awesome. I guess that's one of the guys he wanted to work with anyway, so that's pretty cool. We know that's going to be awesome. That's just going to be amazing. Hopefully, we don't get a payoff till SummerSlam. I don't mind waiting till SummerSlam. So good old Y2J's back. So what else happened on Raw?
We saw Adam Rose and Santino Marella advertising sweet tea.
Now
And
this is
now,
another thing that I think is showing us that WWE is now going back to the PG-13 era. They're now marketing alcoholic drinks.
yeah,
Twisted tea. That's about as close to a beer that you can get without calling it a beer. I was really happy when I saw that.
I actually enjoyed that segment. You know,
Mhm. It was good for Adam Rose. It was great for Santino. And of course WWE. I love the fact they have a new sponsor. I hope they keep them around for a long time. Uh, that makes me think about the decisions they're making now. So out of that, we had Ziggly Wiggly going up against Fandango. But it didn't last too long, did it?
I don't think it's so much for that. I think it was for what happened after the match.
Oh yeah, and during. And during. When Summer Rae came out,
Yep.
and planted her lips on Ziggly Wiggly.
No, I think it was Ziggly Wiggly that planted his lips on that.
And then he planted his lips on her.
And she just looked at him like, what?
Yes.
What is that?
But what was telling was Fandango, and he actually got a little jealous.
So, I mean, I can see Summer and Dolph, you know. I think they look good together.
Yeah, that'd be good. I think Dolph Ziggler would like that too. That was a funny little segment. So it looks like Fandango got the loss. He was so distracted by Summer Rae that he didn't even see the zigzag coming. Bam! And Dolph Ziggler hit it real strong and fast. Finally, Dolph Ziggler gets another win. Doesn't mean anything though. It's not in a feud or anything. So yeah.
I really hope I was Vince McMahon called your phone right then.
No, that was me texting you back here. I said yes to all your questions. We're recording live, folks, on Google Hangout. This will be uploaded instantly to YouTube. So, for any of you guys that want to hang out with us, please join our Google Hangout. The link is posted on our Twitter page. The second link there. Posted it about an hour ago. And if you can hear my voice, then you've already joined our Google Hangout.
I saw somebody join earlier named David. You can come back whenever you want to, David.
Yeah, come on back. You came in and you left. I got excited, then I was like, oh, nobody wants to talk to us. All right, so we had Kobe Kingston and Cesaro faced off in a pretty good match.
But we didn't really see the finish of that match because it was on the app.
Correct. It was on the WWE app, which is why you have to watch the match at all times now. You can't get up, you can't go to the couch, you can't go to the bathroom, you can't get food. You have to stay there and watch it at all times. So you have to hold your phone next to you so that way you can watch the rest of the match. And then when that goes off, you can watch the match on TV. Yeah, we all missed it. I wasn't watching the app at the time, so we missed it. But Kofi got a win.
I was happy.
Yeah, with a roll up.
But what came after was like, wow.
Yeah, which is why his win is forgettable. Which means it wasn't about the win, it was the beatdown that took place afterwards. And man, I gotta ask you, dude, when is Kofi gonna get this break? He's always the guy that gets beat the hell down because he can sell really well, he can make people look great. But that seems to be holding him back. I remember Booker T one time a few years ago. criticized Dolph Ziggler's work because he said he was giving too much in his matches, right? Which means that he was trying too hard to make the other person look great, even if the other person wasn't trying to do the same for him. And I think we're seeing the same thing with Kofi, where he's doing a great job, but I think he's not getting the same in return. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents. But yeah, he got the hell beat out of him.
And Cesaro got hurt during that match also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had an eye injury, so I'm guessing that's why the match was stopped or something.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice. Oh, okay. Yeah, quick match. Kofi won with a roll-up during the commercial break. The beatdown that ensued after was just brutal. And Cesaro took him all over the place. Good gosh. Threw him outside, past the barricade, into the floor, threw him back out, back into the arena floor area where the padding is, next to the ring. Then beat him up on the ring post several times. Just kept pulling him like a rag doll. Anyway. So we had another match between Goldust and Stardust and Rybaxel. I should have played his music. That would have been cool.
No. That match is not even worth talking about. I mean,
yeah, that's pretty much it. We already know who won. Stardust. This is to further their feud or whatever's going to happen down the road. Yeah, moving on to our 4th return of the night.
Well, you're jumping ahead of yourself, buddy. We saw Paige come out to the ring, and she was talking about her win. She has earned her spot on the WWE roster. That she's not a fluke and blah blah blah. And then who returns? I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it.
Why not?
Because I don't remember who returned. Who was it, Brian?
Oh, I don't even remember. If it was against Paige, it'd only be one person. That's right. That's right.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
That's right, folks. AJ Lee, and she wasn't pregnant. So Ryan Clark, you're wrong again.
Oh, actually, did you see? I think it was Brie that came back on the pay-per-view the other night. She had a little pudge belly going on.
Yeah, supposedly she really is pregnant.
She had that belly, so I seen it.
Yeah, supposedly she is pregnant. AJ Lee is not, according to the rumors we've seen on the internet. Wow. So, AJ Lee returns. She confronts Paige and actually says that she compliments her and congratulated her on being a really good fighting WWE Divas champion. But what came next was pretty interesting. AJ was able to convince Paige to put the gold on the line on the spot. Kind of reminds you of something, huh?
WrestleMania Raw.
Yeah. When Paige won the gold. Because what happened here? AJ Lee whooped that ass. So AJ Lee is once again the WWE Divas champion. Paige ended up losing. And an interesting video they put on Fallout of her crying. She didn't even want to see the camera. Paige was just running in behind the scenes, just crying. It was pretty funny. But it's good to see CM Punk's wife, good to see AJ Lee back and back in the fold, and just another one of those great women's wrestlers that definitely needs to be on the roster.
I actually missed her.
Yeah, me too. I missed hearing this.
You've had come up with some of the weirdest stuff for tonight, Brian, on the show. I mean, you're throwing it out there, and I'm like, wow, what is this? Where is the music coming from? I'm like, where are you going with this?
What are you talking about? What music? So we then moving on to our main event was the tag team match that was set up at the beginning of Raw between Randy Orton and Kane going up against Roman Reigns and Jonathan Cena. Interesting match because all four of these men are in the Fatal 4-Way match for the Battleground pay-per-view. That'll be on the WWE Network. Really nothing special that came out of this match, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of one of those.
What
One of
happened? But it was
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you. Yeah, we saw this match kind of drag on a bit, but then Orton and Reigns kind of started doing their own thing, and they fought their way to the back, which left Kane and Cena alone. Kane then, of course, tombstones, or he hits Cena with the ring steps. That got the disqualification. Then Kane decides to give Cena a tombstone pile driver, right? Knocks him out. What happens next?
Well, we personally had Triple H and Stephanie sitting, or Triple H sitting ringside, and we had the fans chanting, "Give him one more, give him one more." I was actually hoping he tombstone John Cena one more time, but Triple H got up on the ring apron, and as he's getting ready to go in the ring, Seth Rollins comes out with the briefcase. John Cena is laid out in the ring. He's not moving. And I'm thinking we're going to cash in. And time Triple H got out of the ring, and he got finally get to the ringside. Kane gets out of the ring. Here comes Dean Ambrose.
Loved it. I loved it. He kept his promise. He said every time Seth is going to try to cash in, he said, "I'll be right there to stop you." And this was no difference, and I can't wait to see more out of these two. It was really awesome to see him come out and beat the hell out of Rollins so he couldn't cash in. But then we saw somebody else run out, right?
I can't remember.
It was, I believe, Dean Ambrose came out. They ran off through the crowd. I think Kane tried to trace him or something, but he wound up back in the ring. I think they tried to attack Cena, but Roman Reigns came in and did a really hardcore spear on Kane. And to end Raw, we had a stare down between Triple H and Roman Reigns, which is an interesting little build-up here. Supposedly, the rumors are that they're going to go at it at SummerSlam, and Triple H might do the job. You know, it'd be interesting to see because he wouldn't even do that for CM Punk. So.
I'm going to see Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose at Battleground.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be a good match. With the case on the line?
No, we've seen that with Damien Sandow and Cody Rhodes, so no, I really wouldn't want to see that.
Well, you won it. Unfortunately for Damien, though, he didn't get the cash in properly. But yeah, I'd like to see that. You know, I think it'd be interesting to see somebody who wins the Money in the Bank contract actually have to fight to keep it throughout the year as well. It kind of adds to the whole mystery. Because it'd be interesting, let's say Seth Rollins loses the Money in the Bank briefcase, Dean Ambrose keeps it, tries to cash in himself a couple times, Rollins interferes, and then at SummerSlam they have a rubber match, Seth Rollins wins the case back. That'd be cool. Just to make it interesting.
Like I said, we saw it last year. I don't want to see that again.
Well, we've seen it all last year. We've seen everything every time, you know. So, like when Seth Rollins cashes in, whether he wins or loses, we've seen that before. I still want to see it, you know. I like that match too, by the way, between Cody Rhodes and Sandow. You got any more thoughts on Raw?
It was a good show. I mean, I was surprised with the returns. They didn't expect the Miz to come back, and here comes the Miz. I'm I like Miz
It's
because
okay.
he can actually get on a mic and talk.
A little bit, yeah. Probably not like in the top 20, but I would say he can. Yeah, he's okay on the stage.
But that's all my thoughts on Raw. We had some good returns. Main ones was watching Jay and AJ Lee. I was happy to see them back. But other than that, it was a forgettable Raw.
Right. Other than the returns are what made it. To me, I thought it was really great that they actually announced the main event for Battleground already. Uh, I love this whole John Cena versus the Authority storyline. We're getting to see the whole McMahon Stone Cold stuff coming back again. Obviously, John Cena is not going to be as edgy as Stone Cold, but it's kind of refreshing to see that again. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to Battleground. We
And
have,
we got the Battle Royal.
and we have the Intercontinental Title Battle Royal. I'm trying to see here who all's in it already.
Have they announced who's winning it yet?
They did some announcing on main event. Let me check the results here.
I know Kobe Kingston's one of them. I know the King of Swing, Cesaro, is another one.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the two. Okay, moving on to main event. The main event, July 1st, 2014. So we had a new announcer come out because as we all know, Josh Matthews is no longer with the company. He was replaced main event with Stardust's wife, Brandy Rhodes. So yeah, she joined Tom Phillips and Brian Saxton for commentary. We had the first match was Cesaro versus. It was supposed to be Cesaro versus Ziggler, but something happened. So to begin the night, Cesaro comes out with Heyman in the ring. Cesaro, like you said, has an injury, so he had a patch over his right eye. Heyman talked about Brock Lesnar, of course, ending the undefeated streak of Undertaker at WrestleMania. They announced that because of Cesaro's injury, Dolph Ziggler couldn't, or I'm sorry, Cesaro's injury, Cesaro couldn't compete in the Ziggler match. Ziggler comes out. He tells Heyman about when he won in the Money in the Bank and then cashed it in, became champion. And then he talked about how he's a former Intercontinental Champion. He tells Cesaro to man up. And then who comes out? Big E. So Big E comes out and does his spiel. He says he's a former Intercontinental Champion. He has a chance at redemption. Who else comes out? Ryback. Ryback and Curtis Axel come out, and they announce that they're a former Intercontinental Champion, and they can do it too. So, what does this mean? Oh wait, there's one more guy. RVD comes out and says he's a former Intercontinental Champion. Of course, what is this building up to, Big Daddy J? It's going to be the Battle Royal.
Mm-hmm.
So, as it stands, we've got Rob Van Dam, we've got Ryback, Big E, we've got Ziggly Wiggly, Cesaro, Great Khali, and I think that's it so far.
Kobe Kingston.
Kofi Kingston and Damon Sandow, yeah. There's going to be a lot of people.
That's just they let Damon Sandow in there now.
Well, they'll let him in. He'll be in it. He'll probably lose quickly.
Yeah.
Or given the way he's been treated recently, it wouldn't surprise me if he actually won.
That's a good possibility, my man.
That'd be nice. Nice little reward for him for being a good boy. And it'd be nice to see him with some gold around his waist. Again, taken seriously. I like his regular gimmick. I like that a lot. And living so close to Palo Alto, I will say a lot of people in Palo Alto do act like people. So it's not that far off. People there are like very snooty, got their nose in the air. Anyway, so that's what happened with that. R-Truth and Xavier Woods came out and they had a match against Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Do I really need to tell you who won?
I would say R-Truth.
Actually, you know what? R-Truth and Xavier Woods did win. The only issue was that they were dreaming.
Oh.
So Luke Harper, Eric Woman. They got the win, making them look strong. Heading into SmackDown and of course Battleground. Um, One thing that was really interesting was the third match, which was Cameron and Naomi versus Nikki Bella and Stephanie McMahon's handpicked partner of Alicia Fox. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we just talk about like an hour ago about the Funkadactyls splitting up on Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it never happened.
Actually, thinking about back on Raw, they had a match with each other. They wrestled together against Nikki Bella in a handicap match.
Oh, that's right. We didn't talk about that.
That's when they split completely up.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And she walked away. Well, this match was only 1 minute 35 seconds because Naomi and Nikki they locked up. Nikki hit a drop kick. Naomi she gets thrown back into the ring somehow. Cameron gets tagged in, and she ends up making the pin. So then Cameron holds Nikki in the ropes. Nikki gets out of the arm hold, and she tags in Alicia. But Alicia moved out of the way. Then Cameron, she gets the pin. And so now the broken up tag team of the Funkadactyls won the match. Weird. So that's kind of interesting. You know what that reminds me of? Which is one of the storylines that I like to see in wrestling, especially tag team, is the storyline where two partners are together that don't like each other, but they're together because they're winning. And this reminds me of a few short years ago, we had MVP and Matt Hardy in the WWE. They were bitter rivals. But they ended up tagging together and became tag team champions. Remember that?
I do.
This is what this reminds me of with the Funkadactyls. They're like tagging together. You have to hate each other. Now they got to win. Surprising. Okay. We did get an announcement by Sheamus that he revealed he was going to put his United States title on the line on July 4th, the edition of SmackDown, which I believe he called like a independent celebration or invitation or something. Del Rio comes out and accepts that challenge. So you guys, if you want, there are spoilers online, but Del Rio versus Sheamus takes place for the United States title on SmackDown. I'm not going to announce who won because that's not cool. But so yeah, Sheamus announced that. And that's really it. There was a six-man tag between Dolph Ziggler, Big E, and RVD taking on the heels, Cesaro, Ryback, and Curtis Axel. Was not a quick match, but I guess it was pretty good. Ziggler got the zigzag for the win, I believe, on Cesaro. About an 11-minute match, so yeah. So coming out of main event, it looks like we have a lot of people signed up for the Battle Royal for the Intercontinental Championship at Battleground, and a little bit more of the feud between all those guys mixed together in the Funkadactyl.
Speaking of Funkadactyls, Bros Clay announced that he wouldn't mind going to TNA. It's an option.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also talking about Jeff Jarrett promotion coming up.
Yeah, I think he's better off going there. Jeff Jarrett knows how to look at someone and be able to utilize their skills. Doesn't look like anyone in TNA knows how to do that, or is willing to do that.
Well,
Good.
I'll take a match I'd be interested in seeing, and that would be Buzz Clay as a Monster Hill against Samoa Joe.
That'd be a good match. That'd be a classic one, probably.
Got two big men, and we know Joe can go.
Absolutely. And so
So
can Curtis in the right circumstances. He can do some really good stuff in the ring. And I'm kind of proud to see him stick with the industry because for sure I would have thought he would have went back to like doing bodyguarding or something for Snoop Dogg. And, he's got those connections. So I was kind of surprised to see that he stuck with wrestling as his career. So good for him. Good for him. Hopefully we'll have more on GFW too, guys. If you guys are out there watching, we will begin to talk a little bit more about GFW when there's more information out. But right now, GFW is still in the concept phase. Jeff Jarrett is making quick moves though. He's already got sponsors or some sponsors and definitely some investor money there. So that's already one thing that a lot of companies don't have when they start out. So good for him, and I hope it really works out for him. And we'll try to be bringing more information on that as time gets closer. All right, so what's going on in wrestling news, Daddy J?
well, it looks like the where they had that cost back with WWE. I heard something about Toughen Up. They're not going to start filming on that right now.
Finally.
But now with the cutback, they're not going to do it right now.
Yeah, the budget cuts.
Yeah, but I mean, really, what could it be a big budget cut, really? Because NXT is already set up for that show, you know what I'm saying?
That's kind of actually, yeah. If you think about it, NXT already is tough enough in a way. You're just getting more experience with real matches.
I actually like that show, and it comes on the network.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'd like to see that. I hope they bring Stone Cold back for that too, or The Rock, or somebody, or they could do it together or something. But only those two, in my opinion. I think Stone Cold did a really good job a few years ago. Uh, Definitely inspired me. So it worked. Had me dreaming. So, yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that come back. Something.
Let's see, what else was there to talk about? We had some other news I was going to talk about.
Well, we had. Well, right off the bat, I gotta say something about John Cena again. I hate bringing this up, but there is a report online that talks about the Google searches that took place after John Cena won the World Championship. As soon as he won the World Championship at Money in the Bank, one, in his hometown of Boston, he was booed out of the arena, and he knew it. You could see it on his face. He wasn't happy to win the gold. Two, as soon as that took place, there were Google searches that took place on the Google search page, and it listed, how can I cancel my WWE Network subscription? And it's because of John Cena's win that happened. So I will say that it's interesting that WWE is still pushing forward with this guy, even though they understand that the fan base is not really buying into him anymore. His regular fan base is gone. They're older now, not gullible like they used to be, and they're like everyone else. They want to see something new and someone different in that spot. Now we had that. In fact, we had the guy we wanted. We had Daniel Bryan. Unfortunately, things happened and he got injured. So what did they do? They went back to their default champion. And I hate saying this, but the reason John Cena is a 15-time world champion is because he's a transitional champion and he's a regular champion. He's reliable to the company in both aspects, even if he's just a transitional. They can just throw it on him and he'd be the guy to carry it and all that stuff. But I think it is high time for someone new, someone different again, to be on top of the company. And I think it's high time guys like Orton and Cena, thank you, Jericho, RVD, thank you. I think it's high time we start really building those folks. And there's really no time but the present, and they really should start doing that before summer. That's just me.
Okay, I got some news right here.
Okay?
The police were called to the WWE headquarters today.
What for?
They found white substance in a package.
Ooh.
Yep. But there's nothing information right now on the accident. So when we get more, I'll be able to talk about that.
Interesting. That's pretty weird. In other news, the news on WrestlingInc.com, some of the other sites that we like to, we have a partnership with. They're kind of our sister sites. Supposedly, behind the scenes, that some of the stars are being told to actually be more aggressive in the ring and do things that are more heel-like. But this might increase injuries as well, so this might be a bad idea. Yeah, of course it's going to increase injuries. The more physical you are in the ring, the more accidents and injuries you're going to have. That's common sense. This is weird that WWE management is pushing talents to be more aggressive, but yet they expect people not to be injured. Like, I really hate the fact that they're making fun of Bad News Barrett, because he works pretty stiff in the ring. He's a tough dude. But I think it's not very classy that they're making fun of him on TV. And of course, it's supposed to go over most people's heads. But that's where experience comes in. Like you and I.
Yeah, I seen that with the when the Ambrose got hurt on Sunday night. I was like, that was all about making fun of Wade Barrett, and I hate that because Wade Barrett, I liked him. I was hoping for a push for him.
Yeah.
But now we just gotta wait for him to come back and see where they're gonna go with him now.
I hope so. As we know how things go, this will probably be his last big run if he doesn't get injured again. This man only gives you so many chances. Mr. Kennedy knows that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so hopefully he gets healthy and happy and he's not released and he gets another chance on his way back pretty soon. Same thing for Tamina. Tamina's out with leg injury. She should be back sometime this fall. So it looks like the WWE is doing so many cuts now because they're losing a lot of revenue. Because now they're trying to get used to no longer having that monthly pay-per-view stream come in. Now they have to figure out ways to have the WWE Network revenue coming in. The only way to do that is not only just with us paying for the monthly premiums, they have to have advertising. And I haven't watched the network too much, but have you noticed any advertising outside of anything that's related to WWE on the network at all?
I haven't, except for WWE.
I think that's where they're going wrong. Unfortunately, they're going to lose some people because some people like it because it doesn't have commercials like that. But they're going to have to start doing the Mountain Dew commercials and regular commercials.
Speaking of that, I like when they talk about the Mountain Dew on Raw.
Yeah.
They go to the announcer table, and the Mountain Dew bottles are still full. They're not even drinking it.
Supposedly, Jerry Lawler, I guess he likes Diet Coke. He doesn't like Mountain Dew. I guess a fan at one of the events recently said that he was sitting behind him, and Jerry would sneak under the desk and drink his little Diet Coke and then put it back under the desk and then pretend to be drinking the Mountain Dew throughout the broadcast. But yeah, you're right. On the most recent Raw and the Money in the Bank, they didn't even really touch it. They just sat there for promotional reasons or whatever. I am kind of glad WWE is doing the product placement stuff again because I know that makes a lot of money for them.
Well, now also we know that the Devon is back with TNA full time.
Who is?
Devon Dudley.
Oh. Yeah. I'm kind of glad and I'm kind of not, to be honest. I don't really know how to feel about it because what does he really add to the table?
Right.
Like his ring work has gotten really bad lately. His matches are all the same. I don't know. That's just me, though. Maybe he's going to add something great to the. His feuds, though, are really cool. It's just, for some reason, the matches I'm always, like, not really that interested in. I like the feuds, and I like his promo work. But the matches, to me, I don't know.
Also, another thing that was going to be a bright thing for TNA was Gene Snitsky and Ezekiel Jackson. But now they haven't brought them in for the TNA or the New York tapings for TNA.
Right.
They're not able
I think that's a sign, Big Daddy J, that TNA, I think for the time being, might stop hiring former WWE guys. And I think it's because of the pay. Think about it. Mr. Kennedy, remember one time you and I talked, and I think we saw somewhere Mr. Kennedy was supposed to make somewhere around $350, $375 a year, just because he's former WWE. Can you imagine Ezekiel Jackson walking into that company, making that kind of money?
No.
My God. But he probably would. That's what's up. And I think TNA's realizing that. You know. So I kind of say good, and I hope they go on to somewhere else. Yeah. I think TNA needs to concentrate on who they have and how to keep them around.
Yeah.
That's TNA. Did you watch Impact at all?
I don't watch TNA.
Yeah.
Because watching them, I can't. You can't follow their storylines.
Well, I'm confused as hell because I'm trying to understand all the tapings. I'm so confused. Like, they've got half of Destination X on Wednesday, then they took the other half on Friday. But in between that, they do like 75 New York shows. And then there's one night only pay-per-views. I'm so confused. So confused. I have no idea what's going on. By trying to follow all the spoilers and stuff. So, and I don't really pay attention like you. I don't pay attention to the show, so that's kind of what I go on. But I have no idea what the hell's going on. All I know is Bobby Lashley is champion. I can't even really tell you who's X Division champion because I think it's changed like 3 times in the past week. But yet, the times that it did change, it was like a 3-month period that was taped. So I don't even really know.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't follow them no more, man.
Yeah, I can't blame you.
Because if I miss one episode of TNA, I'm totally lost if I go back and watch next week.
Right. I agree. So there's some information making the rounds, and this could completely be wrong. This is speculation, but this is according to the dirt sheets. So we're looking at, folks, a potential Brock Lesnar versus John Cena for the WWE World Title match at SummerSlam. And supposedly the dirt sheets are saying that Lesnar's supposed to go over in that match, well deserved, as champion. Then make it to WrestleMania 31, and then at the end of his contract, and of course his last match, lay down and put over Roman Reigns as the new top babyface. I'd love that. I really would like that. But again, this is all hearsay. Nobody really knows what's going on. And of course, anything in WWE changes literally every hour, every minute. But I'd like to see that. If that was the truth and that was how they were going to play out, first I'd say finally, and then I like the idea of it.
I like that. Roman Reigns. But they're also talking about putting the Shield back together.
Yeah, maybe, you know what? I don't know. I want to see them all three on their own for a bit. Because I think it'll be more important when they come back together. And, we have, like, the three of them as established on their own, And it'll make the group even better when they come back together.
Well, they're not going to do that until, like, 2015, late 2015, early 2016, so...
I'd probably wait longer than that, too. That's just me. I'd savor that. I would milk that, to be honest. There's only so many times you can have a group come back, Like, look at DX. They came back, 75 times already?
Yeah, but it's gotten over every time.
I would say push down our throats and work. That's how I would say it. It's over because, one, it's a cool group. Like, the Nation of Domination came back again, it wouldn't be as cool as DX coming back. Or if Too Cool came back for a full-time run, it wouldn't be as cool as DX,
Right.
I just don't want to see the same thing happen to the Shield. DX, well, I'm not going to compare. I just say wait a little longer. I want to see Dean Ambrose kind of mold on his own. I want to see Seth Rollins / Batman or whatever his gimmick is mold on his own too. I haven't really seen much of them on their own. And I want Roman Reigns to be on his own too. I don't want him having the Shield music and the Shield gear. I want him to have his own gimmick. Not because it's kind of weird that he kept all the Shield stuff. Like, I hear his music and I'm thinking Shield, but it's not the Shield. Which means when they return, it's like they really never went anywhere.
Well, I never seen Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns split up.
Right. Well, that's because they're baby faces. So.
So.
And I will say this: thank you, WWE, for going back to sort of kind of putting that wall back up, the kayfabe wall. You notice a lot lately that the Authority's been using the heels lately to do all their work.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I like that. That means that we can see who's officially baby and who's officially heel in the company. And I like that a lot. It's kind of old school, I guess.
Or you want to take see if we got any viewers out there with questions?
See if anyone's around. Is anyone around? Nothing.
Do what?
Very funny. So David B, I guess, was thought it was funny, huh? Look in the group chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
You put the Nya cat there. That's a very funny, like, internet meme. He's trying to be a dick. Anyway, David B, come back anyway. We want to chat. All right, so what else happened in wrestling news? Anything else you want to talk about before we head out?
I think that's it for this episode. We'll talk about some stuff next week.
All right, guys. So, wonderful, wonderful people out there. Please, 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 please. Again, follow us on Twitter. This is our Twitter handle down below at VWN Main. Please find us on Facebook. It's all linked here on our YouTube channel, which is Video Wrestling News. That's all you got to do is Google Video Wrestling News in the YouTube search box, and you'll find us. Just click there, subscribe. Please make sure you comment below and like this video. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Tell us what we're doing right. Just let us know. Give us some feedback. Let us know how you like the show. Again, in the coming weeks, we'll try to do our best to bring you more and more each show to bring to the table to kind of get you entertained. We hope you enjoy our discussion, but we definitely want to get this more involved. We want to grow this and want to expand this. And we need you to do that. Again, like us on Facebook. Our Twitter handle's down here below. Please follow us on Twitter. Spread the word. Let everybody know, hey, Video Wrestling News is around. They're here to stay.
And we're sorry we started late tonight. We had some technical difficulties getting started.
As always, things can get a little hectic, but we still got it out. We got it done. All right, so again, guys, so next week, 10 p.m. Eastern, unless anything changes, next Wednesday, please join us for another live Google Hangout. Hey, Big Daddy J, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you, BrianB.
All right, man, I'll see you next week.
Have a good night.
All right.